Noah here with Extreme Terrain, and we're going to check out these Morimoto XB hybrid LED headlights with amber DRLs, black housings, and clear lenses for the 2012 to 2015 Tacoma. Now, if you're looking for a higher quality plug-and-play set of LED headlights that have the super popular DRL design that you're seeing everywhere today, but amber, then I think you're really going to like these headlights from Morimoto. Now, the main draw to these headlights is going to be their superior brightness on the road compared to the stock headlights on your Tacoma. Now, there also are these really bright C-bar shaped LED daytime running lights that are going to make you super visible on the road to distracted drivers. Now, the really neat thing about those lights is that they're actually amber rather than white like most DRLs are. Now, those DRLs complement the amber turn signal here in the corner, and then the crazy bright LED headlight itself right here in the middle is going to cast light down the road at night for some serious illumination with those dual projectors. Now, the black housings themselves are for that sleek upgraded look while still retaining a clear lens, which is going to let the light pierce right through without any restriction. These headlights look awesome, and they are Morimoto, so they're going to be built awesome as well. So as far as construction goes, we've got UV-resistant polycarbonate lenses covered with an anti-UV Momentive UVHC 3000 coating. Now, the housings are made from ABS plastic, and they're weather sealed to keep moisture away from the LEDs inside. And also, just want to mention that these headlights are DOT and SAE compliant, and they come with a 5-year warranty, which is a pretty long warranty time frame for a set of headlights. We're looking at a price tag of around $1,100 for these guys. Now, that is going to be one of the higher priced headlights on our site, but these are Morimoto's, and literally everything they make is exceptional quality, performance, and build construction. Now, these may be a top tier price tag, but they're also going to be top tier in headlight performance. Installing this set of headlights on your Tacoma is going to take you about an hour or so to do at home, and we're looking at an install difficulty of only 1 out of 3 wrenches. Now, this job should come pretty simple to anyone looking to upgrade their rig themselves, and I'm sure you can handle it because we're going to show you how to do it right now. I'm going to hand it over to one of the guys in the shop so you can check out that process step by step.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, a clip remover tool, plastic pry tool, needle nose pliers, scissors or diagonal cutters, 10mm wrench, 10mm socket, and a couple zip ties. What's up, guys? Today we're installing a set of headlights on our Tacoma. First, we're going to watch a quick uninstall video showing you how to remove your factory headlights, and I'll meet you right back here for the install.
All right, so the first step in our install, we're going to remove several pop clips on each side of the grill to remove the grill itself. With a pop clip removal tool or a trim panel removal tool, go ahead and remove the pop clip. Remove the pop clip on the other side as well. At this point, you can remove 2 10mm bolts holding on the top of your grill. At this point, we can remove our grill, pull up on the plastic brackets on top, and then grab your grill and pull straight forward to release all of the clips. All right, so at this point, we're going to remove the trim piece beneath the headlight. In order to do this, we're going to grab a trim panel removal tool, and if you're worried about scratching your paint, you can throw a bit of painter's tape on the end here. To release the tab, go on the top here. You're going to look for a green pop clip, and if you press on the back of the pop clip, it will release the tab. To release the back of this trim piece, put your pop clip in the end and twist forward because the clip goes in this direction. At this point, you can remove the 2 10mm bolts holding on the top of your headlight. All right, so there is one more bolt that we do have to remove, which is a bit hard to get to. It's right about here on the bottom of your headlight, and the way we're going to access this is remove 2 bolts underneath the wheel well liner and 1 screw in the side of it. With a 10mm socket, remove the 2 bolts underneath your bumper. At this point, we're also going to remove a pop clip with a stubby flathead screwdriver. Twist it to remove. With that clip removed, peel back your wheel well liner. And now you should be able to access the bolt by going in through here to the back of the headlight. All right, now with the wheel well liner back, you can see this bolt. You might have a little trouble seeing it on camera here, but you can feel the one that you have to remove. We're gonna grab a 10mm socket and a ratchet, and we're gonna go ahead and get it out. With all the bolts removed, we're now going to release this tab here. You can do this by hand, or if you like, you can do it with a flathead screwdriver, and you're just going to pry forward. Release the two tabs at the top as well. Again, you can just lift up, or if you have a flathead, just pry it off. Now that the headlight is released and loose on your truck, we're going to disconnect each of the connectors at this point. Go ahead and pull each of them off. There should be 3. 1 main and then 2 marker lights. And there's one a little bit farther forward up here. Now that everything is released and your headlight's disconnected, it's a matter of wiggling the headlight and maneuvering it in just the right way for it to come out.
So the first thing we're going to do is get our wiring situated. I have half of the harness here. This is the side that's going to be plugging into our headlights. We have a bullet connector on one end that's going to connect to a bullet connector that has our fuse tap that's going to be going inside the cabin. So I'm going to take the bullet connector and put it through the grommet that's right next to the brake booster in our engine bay. So now right down here, right by the driver's side fender, is the grommet we're going to be going through. So we'll take our bullet connector, slide that in, and then we can go inside the cabin and pull that the rest of the way through. So now inside the cabin, the first thing we're gonna do is remove this coin tray. So you can just pop it out and we'll pull back and up. And then next we'll grab that wire that we pushed through the firewall. We'll connect the other side of our bullet connector to it. And then that coin door removed, we have access to our fuse. We're pulling this 10 amp in the center row all the way to the left. So we'll grab a pair of needle nose pliers and pop that out. So now with that fuse removed, we can plug in our fuse tap. You don't have to put the fuse into the tap because it comes with 2 fuses. So I'm going to run this up behind our dash and behind this loom of wire. And then we can plug that into the spot we pulled our fuse out of. And then I can grab the excess wire and tuck it up out of the way. You want to make sure that you're not going under your e-brake pedal. And then you can reinstall your coin tray. It has these 2 hooks that are going to go down here, and then you want these 2 in that slot. And then you can just push down. So now that we have our fuse tap hooked up inside the cabin, we can run our wires. We have a shorter end that's going to be going to our driver's side headlight bucket, and then we'll have to run the longer end over to the passenger side. Now we can tuck it under this radiator cover here, running it over. So that's how we're going to run it. So now I'm going to start with the longer side wire that's going to the passenger side. I'm going to run that under this support here. And then this will also get the side for the driver's side into the headlight bucket. And then we can start running this across, tucking it under this radiator cover. Now once we get to the other side, I'm going to go over our hood prop, tuck the rest under that cover, put our connector back in there, and then we'll zip tie up all of this excess. So now we can bunch up all this excess. We'll leave a little bit to work with, and then we can take a zip tie, tie that up, and take a pair of scissors or diagonal cutters to chop off the excess. And now we're ready to install our headlights. So now we need to switch over our turn signal bulb from our stock headlight to our new one. So now we'll come over to our bulb socket and twist it left, and then wiggle it out of our housing. And then we can drop it into our new headlight and twist it to the right to lock that in. Do the same thing for the other headlight, and then we'll get these on the truck. So now we're ready to get our headlights installed on the truck. We're just gonna plug in all of our electrical connectors and then wiggle this into place. So now we can plug in all of our connectors. All of these are different, so you can't mess them up. The wire from our daytime running light harness is going to go into this guy. And now we can wiggle this down into place. Next, we can reinstall our 2 bolts at the top and take a 10mm socket to tighten these down. And then you can do that same thing on the other side. Now that we have our headlight installed, we can reinstall our lower trim. We have this slot in the backside that's going to be going into this little notch, and then we can clip it into place. And then you'll do that same thing on the other side. Next, we can reinstall our grill. Now we can reinstall our 2 push clips and our 2 bolts. And then we'll grab our 10mm socket and tighten these down. Now lastly, we can go back inside our fender liner and reinstall that last bolt in the side of our headlight. So it's going to be pretty hard to see on camera, but you can just do it by feel. Feel for that hole and thread your bolt in. And then you can grab a 10mm wrench to tighten that down. And then you can just replace your fender liner. And we'll go underneath and reinstall those 2 bolts. So now we can come underneath and reinstall these 2 bolts into our fender liner. And then take our 10mm socket and tighten these down. And then you can repeat that same process on the other side. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Morimoto XB hybrid LED headlights with amber DRL, black housing, and clear lens for your 2012 to 15 Tacoma. Thank you for watching, and for all things Tacoma, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.